I remember me and this girl, we end up going inside her bedroom and we start doing the devil's tango. Then out of nowhere, I look behind me and I notice that the door randomly opens, but no one came in. I started to kind of worry until I looked over in the corner of the room and I saw her dog was just standing there watching me and her do the devil's tango. Like, what? Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba and welcome back to another insane story. So today's story is a pretty awkward one that I always wanted to tell on this channel, but I really didn't know how to tell it until today. And let's just say it all starts off back when I was in grade 11. Now, grade 11 was one of the most weirdest years for me because I was ruthless. And by that, I mean, I would do the devil's tango with basically anything that walked. Like, I was just out of pocket. And I'm gonna be honest here, I was like a D1 yapper. To this day, I still am. But honestly, like, the amount of things that happened in my grade 11 year was insane. And I remember there was one time specifically where one time I was hanging out with a group of friends of mine back in high school and we were all sitting in the cafeteria eating lunch. Until one day out of nowhere, this guy ends up walking up to me and he wasn't part of our friend group. We just kind of knew him from mutuals that we met throughout the school year. And he always wanted to be like one of the boys, but in a way, he was just a really weird dude to the point where we didn't really want to hang out with him. But this time he ended up walking up to us saying, "Yo guys, I just want to let you guys know, like, there's a party happening and like a group of girls just wanted me to tell you guys that. They're all like standing over there giggling, being weird about it. But yeah, there's a party. So if you guys want to go, here, I'll text you guys the address." We all end up sitting down, kind of looking at each other, kind of like making eye contact to see if we really want to go to this party. But obviously, if a group of girls ended up sending this guy to us, it was probably because they actually wanted us to go. So we all agreed to go and we ended up getting the address. And let's just say later on that school day, something funny ended up happening. Because when the bell rang for lunch, I remember I got out of the classroom that I was in and I was heading towards the cafeteria to meet up with all the guys. But as I was walking there, the same dude that told us about the party ended up walking up to me. And he said to me, "Yo, Bubba, can I talk to you for a minute?" Yeah, what's going on, bro? Well, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, there's a girl I really like, and like, I'm gonna be honest, man, she's really cool, and like, she wants to be a veterinarian when she grows up, and me, like, I love animals, and so does she, and like, I think we have something in common. Is it cool if like, maybe like, you know, you talk to her tonight, and like, you know, wingman for me? At that moment, I really didn't know what to say, and I felt really bad, because this guy was like your typical, like, no riz, like, no skibbity, nothing like that. I know that's brain rot language, but you guys know what I mean if you understand this day and age. So I remember I ended up looking at him, and I told him, "Dude, like, honestly, bro, just like, why don't you just walk up to her and just talk to her? Like, you don't gotta be weird about it." Well, like, I don't really know what to say, like, start off, you know what I mean? Like, every time I try to talk to a girl, I end up just standing there silently with her. At that moment, I knew what he was talking about because I used to have the same problem back when I was in middle school before I ended up actually becoming, well, the master of the devil's tango. So I told him that I would end up introducing him to her and basically helping him out. I remember he was super excited and super happy about that, and he even gave me a high five in the middle of the hallway. I don't know who gives out high fives anymore, like, you know, times have changed, I guess, but yeah, he gave me a high five and walked away. But after that whole situation happened, I remember I ended up going to the cafeteria to finally meet up with my friends. And when I sat down with them, I remember we were all just chatting and having a good time till one of the boys ended up pointing out something odd where he said to me, "Yo, Bubba, bro, that girl over there keeps staring at you. Isn't that like the group of girls that wanted to like bring us to that party?" I ended up looking over and I kind of just waved at her and she started giggling and looking at me and she kind of gave me a wink, I guess. I don't know if she actually winked at me because she was wearing glasses, so I really couldn't tell, but 100% she was staring at me. So me knowing this, I didn't know what to say and I kind of just looked back at my homie and said, "Yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll see her at the party." And that I did. But honestly, what ends up happening at the party was the most insane thing ever. Because I remember later on that day, everyone was talking about the party. We all went home. We all got dressed and ready for the party to happen. But as I was getting dressed, I remember I ended up getting a phone notification from the guy that wanted me to wingman for him. And he basically messaged me saying, "Yo, Bubba, I don't know what to wear. Should I like wear something with fur since she likes animals?" Bro, what? No, just wear something normal. Like, you're not going to a furry convention. Are you good? At that moment, he ends up kind of laughing and then he says, "Okay, I'll just wear something cool, I guess." And then one thing led to another. I ended up driving over to the party with my car, and when I parked my car, automatically all the guys started coming out of the house since they saw me from the window, and they said to me, "Yo, Bubba, there's actually like a decent amount of people at this party, bro. The girls are hosting a pretty good one." "Oh yeah, they are? Okay, bet. Let's go inside and see what's going on." I remember once I walk inside, automatically a lot of people started like looking at me really awkwardly because I guess I was like the only one at that time in my high school that had a car. But I tried not to make a scene, and me and my friends, we all ended up walking around the party just meeting people and everything. But then out of nowhere, someone ended up grabbing my wrist and pulling me to a different part of the party. And I remember I ended up seeing who it was, was, and it was the guy that wanted me to wingman for him. He ended up saying, yo, bro, so the girl's right there. I was wondering, like, do we just like walk up together and like you can introduce me? Wait, where? Oh, it's that girl over there. He ended up pointing at the girl that was staring at me, giggling and laughing when me and all the guys were sitting together back in the cafeteria at school. And when I saw that, I automatically did not want to walk up to her, because if I walked up to her and she already liked me in some sort of way, the guy I'm wingmanning for wouldn't even get a chance. But honestly, I didn't really know what to do at the moment, and I kind of just wanted to get the situation over with, and maybe, who knows, he might be more of her type than me. Probably? Maybe? No, because I remember when we ended up walking up to her, she ends up staring at me straight into my eyes, and that's when I told her, hey, so like, I was just wondering, like, have you met my friend? And I ended up introducing the guy that I was supposed to wingman for. And when I said his name, she didn't even look over to him, nothing. She just right away shook my hand and said, oh, hi, it's finally nice to meet you. And like, basically, she was giving no attention whatsoever to the guy that was beside me. At that moment, I felt really bad, and honestly, he even knew that like he really didn't have a chance, and I really did not know what to do. So I ended up looking at him, trying to like make him basically like do a move or like, you know, start a conversation with her, but he was just standing there frozen as if it was still the Ice Age. Like, I really did not know what to do, and I looked at him saying, so my buddy, here, you know, he thinks you're attractive. Oh, wait, does he? I mean, like, what do you think? And right as she asked for my opinion, he ended up walking away. I ended up feeling so bad for him that I actually ended up basically telling this girl, yo, wait, just give me a sec. Let me go see what he's doing. Because since his feelings got super hurt, I was just making sure that he didn't do anything, I guess, wrong. And when I walked up to him, he ended up looking at me kind of like in tears, I guess. And he said to me, Baba, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think she's the one for me, but if you can you do her for me? What? Yeah, like, you know, like go home with her. Tell me the experience afterwards. Dude, are you good? Is what I told him. But after that, he ended up basically going home. At that moment, I felt really bad, but I felt like there was a moral obligation to basically, you know, hit it for my boy, if that makes any sense. I know that sounds really bad, but it made sense back when I was in high school. So basically, I ended up walking up to the same girl that apparently liked me for some reason, and me and her, we ended up striking a conversation together. We struck a conversation, and well, one thing led to another with my experienced riz that I had since, I don't know, growing up, I guess. Out of nowhere, me and her, we went home together. I remember I ended up driving her home after the party when everyone was leaving, and me and her, when we got to her place, I remember right as we got to the front doorstep, a bunch of dogs ended up basically running up to the front door and barking. Now me, I don't mind dogs, but dogs that are barking and being scary, yeah, that's not really my thing, okay? Like, you might as well take me to the zoo and tell me a wolf is a dog, because that's basically the same stuff, right? So right away as I hear these dogs, I ended up looking at her saying, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I have one rule. If one of these animals end up biting me or anything, I will knock it out. Like, I will kick it and knock it out. I do not care. Oh, no, don't worry. They won't do that. Like, just don't, you know, scare them. What does that even mean? Don't scare them. Like, I'm literally at the door and they're already barking scared, bro. Anyways, going on with the story, me and her, we ended up going inside, and basically the dogs ended up moving back. She ended up feeding all of them, and there was like over like 4 dogs in there, so it was kind of weird. And me and her, we ended up going straight to her bedroom, and we ended up lying down together till one thing led to another, and we did the Devil's Tango. But things got super weird in the middle of the Devil's Tango, because I remember midway through, me and this girl, right, we're doing it in the bed, you know what I'm saying? And then out of nowhere, I ended up hearing the door creak open, and I thought it was a parent or something, so I started to freak out. So I look behind me and I see that the door was open, but no one came in. I got super weirded out, and I'm like, what? And she looks at me and she's like, is everything okay? Huh? Yeah, no, everything's fine. I just don't know what's going, what the? And at that moment, I ended up seeing a dog sitting in the corner of the room, just staring at me, doing the Devil's Tango with its owner. Like, what am I supposed to do there? I ended up basically staring at the dog, and the dog is staring at me doing the dog, and it's just, you know, it sounds weird. I know what I'm saying, okay? But like, I remember this moment so vividly because it was so awkward, as literally the girl ends up looking at me saying, what, are you weirded out that the dog's in here? Yeah. Well, I mean, like, they do this all the time, don't they? So like, totally fine if he watches, right? You want your dog to watch us do the Devil's Tango? Yeah. Is that weird? Yeah, that's weird. What? And at that moment, I ended up getting up and I ended up putting on my clothes, and I honestly just ended up going home. The next day at school, I ended up basically walking up to my buddy that I guess wanted me to do the girl, and he walked up to me saying, yo, Baba, is it true you ended up going home with her last night? Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh, really? What happened? Honestly, man, I would tell you, but I'm gonna be honest, you can just ask her dog. Wait, what? Her dog? And at that moment, I ended up walking away, realizing that my life is full of craziness. And if you guys enjoy the craziness and watched all the way through, then fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.